Alright, what's up, guys? Alright, now let me bump this up real quick. Oh no, it's perfect. Okay, so this is the first live stream that I've ever done with YouTube. Read only. Alright, so let's just get into it. Start studying. Hope this is working good. Okay, here we go. Answer key. So this is test. So the statement is false. The DBPR has 30 days to check for errors and omissions oh God, and omissions, and to send the applicant a notice of insufficiency. Okay. U.S. citizenship. Now I'm on this one, number 2. So a U.S. citizen is not required to possess a Florida broker's license. However, broker applicants must possess a Social Security number. Okay, so maybe one way to study would be I could take that, put it in Evernote, and then figure out a way to reword it so that it better sticks. So let's copy and paste it. Copy, go into Evernote, paste. Let's make this big so it really sticks. Let's make it bigger. Boom. That's too big because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. 24 is good. And let's make it bold. I don't like this font. What about this one? I don't know. I think I'm making this way more complicated than it should because I'm a procrastinator. You know, I'm a procrastinator. Impact is good for thumbnails. Courier new. It's like I'm a robot reading it. Cambry. It's too freaking hyphenated. Alright, let's just go with Arial. Move this over. Okay, so U.S. citizenship is not required to possess a Florida broker's license. So, how can I rewrite it? Maybe a Social Security number is required when submitting a broker application. Fortunately, I have a Social Security number. Now with this broker's exam, I've had everything done. I've done the course hours, I had the fingerprint done, I had the application done, I've paid for it. I literally just have to take the state exam and that's it. The state exam is arguably the hardest part about it because you can't bring Google into the Pearson VUE Testing Center. But that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to study so I can pass it. Streamlabs. Alright, so this cuts off right where this is. Let me put this down and this down. And I could put this right here. Like that. Alright, so then if I have this up, perfect. This is cool. Okay, and I know that this cuts off right around there. So if I just put the house thing right here, and I know that when I'm writing and typing, I just got to keep it within these bars, like that. Okay. Minimize. Actually, Okay, so the next question is going to be, for applicants and licensing procedures, FREC rules define a Florida resident as a person who has resided in Florida continuously for a period of 4 calendar months. FREC rules define a Florida resident person who resided in Florida continuously for a period of 4 calendar months. For applicants, practice final exam. What the fuck? I don't get it. Because this one, right, the answer practice exam is some number answer, then I go to the answer key. And question 1. Okay. I got it now. Because that was going to be the final. Excuse me. Sorry for the yawn. Unit 12. It's got to be at the bottom. Yeah, see? Boom, 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 boom. So this is a lot of shit to study. Already overwhelmed, but that's okay. It's not the first time that I've had information overload before. I think one thing that will help is a little bit of music. You guys want to listen to some music? Let me see. Well, good luck. Thank you. Appreciate you, Alex. I guess luck's going to have to come into it with remembering a lot of this stuff and not second guessing myself either, because sometimes when I go to take a test, I'm looking over information, I'll think that it's one answer when really it's the other answer. But it's okay. When I got my real estate license, I failed the first time and I passed the second time. And when you take your real estate exam, if you fail, they give you the number. And I got like a 60 something, and passing is just 75. As long as you get a 75, you pass. Now, when you pass, they don't tell you what score you got. When you pass, they print out the sheet and it literally just says pass. So I didn't care what score I got. I don't care if it was a 75. When I was passed, it was a sigh of relief. It was like, thank God I'm done with this, because I don't like doing test taking. And, you know, a lot of this stuff that you learn is, I guess, good for the basics. It's more important, I think, if you're like a real estate attorney. But being a broker, this stuff is really valuable. But really getting the experience and getting out there in the field is, I would say, most valuable. Because a lot of this stuff I don't remember at all. But let's get back into it. Let's take it one step at a time. So this is Unit 1, practice questions. I say we just jump right into the final exam. Let's do that. So this is the answer key. I'm going to get pretty much all these answers wrong. So I'm going to go back and forth. So practice final exam. Let's read the questions. And then we'll go over them. Alright, so the first question. Hazel's brokerage firm has an annual expense budget of $162,000. That includes her own salary. She wants to make $20,000 profit. If she has 7 sales associates, what must each sales associate generate in company dollars for Hazel to achieve this goal? I mean, this should be easy math, right? So you're looking at it and you're like, okay, the budget is $162,000, right? That includes her own salary, and she wants to make $20,000 in profit. Okay, so you add this to this, and that equals 182,000. Now, let's whip out a calculator. All right. So we got our calculator, and we're gonna do $162,000 That's how much her budget is. Now she wants to get a profit of 20,000. So that's a total of 182,000. Now, I don't know if this is going to be right. I don't even know if I'm going in the right direction, but this is my thought process. I'm thinking, okay, so they have an expense budget. All businesses have an expense budget. You have to keep the lights on. You have to have marketing. Even in the question, it talks about her own salary is included in that because she pays herself a salary, or he pays her. But they want to profit 20,000 minimum. So that means with net revenue of 182,000, 160 will go to the expenses and 20 would be the profit. So let's hit equal. Oh, what the fuck? Why did it go to that? Doubled? All right. 162 plus 20. And because there's 7 sales associates, let's divide that by 7 equals 26,000. Answer C. And I know that's right. I couldn't have done 26,000 times 7 and gotten that answer, but I remember looking at the answer key, that did stick out. So we go back to the answer key. And answer key for practice final exam. Why does this thing keep popping up? It's so annoying. Okay, so the answer is 26,000. I was right. Now I'm looking at the webcam, trying not to look at this because I don't want to know what these answers are. So my hand is blocking it. I'm going to go back over here, try to navigate my way. Practice final exam. Yes, boom. Alright, so why don't we do this? Instead of looking at it, I'll go over 2 or 3 or 4 questions at a time. Alright, so question 2. Wish I could make this a little bit bigger. I can right here. Whoa, it's too big. Alright, this is better. Now I feel like y'all can freaking read it. It's beautiful. Alright, so question 2. Licensed personal assistants may A. be employed and pay commissions by sales associates. B. Be employed by sales associates but must be paid commission by the firm's brokerage. C. Never be classified as independent contractor. D. Perform real estate services only. They're employing sales associate financially liable, but not the firm's broker. Alright, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what the answer to this question is, but I'm going to try to take an educated guess. So let's check it out. Licensed personal assistants. So if they're licensed, then they're licensed. So that means they should be able to accept commissions. Now, is there a law or something in place that doesn't allow an assistant? I don't know. So let's say be employed and pay commissions by sales. Be employed by sales associates, but must be paid. I think it's B. Be employed by sales associates, but must be paid commissions by the firm's broker, because a sales associate doesn't have the legal power, I believe, to pay commissions out to assistants. Sales associate can pay a salary to an assistant. So I'm going to go with B. So question 2, I'm going to go with B. Let's check if I'm wrong. After I do 3 and 4, I'm going to do 2 more. And let's see if I get 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, or 0 out of 3. Correct. Stream. Cool. So let's go back. So this is my first time live streaming on YouTube. I've been streaming some gaming on Twitch. This is kind of new, going back and forth from Streamlabs. This is the Streamlabs software. And just trying to make it as best as it possibly could be. It's not going to be perfect, but it is what it is. So let's go back into it. Question 3. A business appraiser, when valuing assets of a good concern, should be A. Liquidation value. B, book value, C, historical cost, or D, market value? A business appraiser, when valuing assets of a good concern, should be. I feel like market value, because we live in the now, and book value is one thing, market value is what the market wants, because it can have a historical cost, but if no one wants to pay that, it's not happening. Book value, liquidation value. I don't know. I could be wrong because a business appraiser, I'm thinking of this from the perspective of a seller. Like, you have a house, you want to get rid of it. What do you really go off of? So I could be completely wrong with this. I'm just going to go with D, but that's what this studying is for. Fail now, so I don't fail when I go stake to stake test. And number 4, question 4. A business appraiser calculates a company's current ratio by A, multiplying assets by net worth, B, dividing current assets by current liabilities, C, dividing current liabilities by net worth, or D, subtracting current liabilities from current assets. All right. So that was just a bunch of words I just said. So let me start with the question, break that down, and then I'm going to go through the answers. So A, business appraiser calculates a company's current ratio by, do they multiply the assets by net worth, divide current assets by current liabilities? I don't think it's that one. I feel like it'll be D, right? What do you think it'll be? I'm thinking it'll be D. Because what's a company's ratio is assets to liabilities. How much money you making? How much value do you have? How much money you're spending? All right, so what do we say? Question 2, we said B. Question 3, I said D. In question 4, I said D. Let's see if I'm completely wrong. Maybe a couple right. Answer key. Exam answers, no. Not for 17, I need a final exam. Making these fonts big is great, but it's a lot of scrolling. Okay, so I don't want to see all of them. So we could see from like 6 and up. I'm trying to not look at 5 and 6. I'm just trying to look, okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got it right. 2 is B. Be employed by sales, but must pay commission by the firm's brokers. I knew it. There's legal ramifications that doesn't allow it to happen. But sales associates can hire assistants, but they can't get commission. All right, so number 3, I was right. Market value. I knew it. Because historic value is irrelevant to the present moment now. Book value is one thing. And you can put a price to whatever you want, but are people buying it is the real question. So sign me up. F studying. Boom, I'm ready to go. All right, so D for 3. I got that right. Now 4, and I'm cheesing it. I already see answers 5 and 6, and I'm going to cheese them because I'm looking at them right now. But then we'll go back and we'll do 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 3 is market value. We got that. 4 is dividing current assets by current liabilities. So I got that one wrong. I thought it was taking liabilities and subtracting from assets. So the real answer to find the business ratio with a business appraiser will do is going to dividing current assets by current liabilities. I should probably write that down. Dividing current assets by current liabilities. Is that right? Dividing current assets by current liabilities. is how we find the business ratio, correct? The business, a business appraiser will do to find the business ratio. Let me go back to it. I wish I could have it in a separate thing instead of having to always find it. Okay, so let's go back. Calculates a company's current ratio. Okay. Is how a business appraiser determines the current business ratio. Say that right? A business appraiser calculates a company's current ratio. Alright, so I guess I remember this, that dividing current assets by current liabilities is how business appraiser calculates the current business ratio. Okay. Next question. Alright, 5 and 6. I honestly don't remember the answers, so let's just go with it. Because every time I go back and forth from hitting practice final exam and then the answer key, it makes me have to scroll through on this because I'm on Vital Source Bookshelf. That's what the real estate school gave me the ebook for, and this ebook is great, and it has plenty of tests, answer keys, glossaries. I'm sorry about the woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I've been procrastinating on doing the studying on a live stream because I want to get more into live streaming because I think it's great. But I'm going to yawn once in a while. I apologize. So let's go through these again. Alright, so 5. Which type of ownership allows property to be inherited? What type of ownership allows property to be inherited? Right off the top of my bat, I would think of ownership and perpetuity. You know, where you own it as long as you own it. You could sell it, you can rent it, you can will it to somebody. But inheritance is something different because if you don't have it in the will, what makes it inheritance? So, A, is it tenancy and severalty and tenancy in common? Tenancy at will and joint tenancy. Tenancy by the entries, tenancy in common. Tenancy by. Okay, I'm reading really fast. I apologize again first live stream. I gotta remember that I'm speaking to you guys, and I want to be a little bit more clear. So, I highlighted all that not rambling, but mumbling that I was doing. I just highlighted it. So, what type of ownership allows properties to be inherited? All right. So let's say you got a grandparent, and they got a house, and let's say they pass away, and what's going on with the house? Let's look at these. One of them is I'm looking at B because tenancy at will and joint tenancy. So if it's in a will that it goes to her, or if it's joint ownership, then it goes to them. So I'm gonna go with B. Next question looks like a math one. I'm excited about that. A buyer agreed to purchase a building site for $17,000. Okay. She gave the broker. This is what I'm reading right now. Okay. She gave the broker a good faith deposit of $11K in cash and agreed to close the property within 60 days and pay the balance in cash. The sale was contingent on the buyer receiving acceptable soil tests from the engineering firm and determining that the land use allowed a mobile home. The broker, A, should have written the contingency contract for land use. B, violated Chapter 475 SS by accepting a cash deposit greater than $10,000. C, must place the deposit in his trust account by the end of the next business day. Or D, must report the transaction to the IRS on Form 8300. Alright, so looking at this multiple choice question, again, I could be completely wrong, and if I'm wrong, we go back over here to Evernote, and I rewrite it in a way so that way it sticks. So right off the bat, my instinct is telling me it's not D. D, which is must report the transaction to the IRS, because this is a good faith deposit, and the IRS deals with taxes. So at the end of the year, when you do your taxes, you report it. C, must place the deposit in his trust account by the end of next business day. Sounds reasonable. Sounds reasonable. Could be wrong though. Violated Chapter 475. Do you know what Chapter 475 is? Because I don't. By accepting a cash deposit greater than 10,000. So basically, this answer is alluding to it not being allowed, according to real estate bylaws, to accept a cash deposit more than 10,000. Is that bylaw real or not? I don't even know. But the question is alluding that it is. And A, should not have written a contingency contract for land use. I don't think it's that. You know what? I'm going to go with C. B would be my backup. And number 7. Let's do that. We're going to do 5, 6, 7. And we're going to do the answers. 7 would be, when a broker receives an earnest money deposit from a buyer, the broker, A, must deposit the funds into his escrow account by the end of the next business day. B, is responsible if the check is dishonored, even if he made a timely deposit. C, may accept it in a form of a post-dated check with the seller's approval. Or D, may never accept a post-dated check because it's illegal status in Florida. I don't know if it's illegal, but there's something good about getting the money now, rather than posting a check. It's not really agreeing to the deal then. C makes a form of post. I'm going to go with A. 7, I'm going to say A. 6, I was saying C. Backup would be B. And for 5, I'm going with B. B. Alright, let's go to the answer key. And I hope you guys are enjoying this stream. First time doing both YouTube and Twitch. But because it's late for me and I've been up since early AM, I can't stream for too long tonight, too long of studying, but I might put some music on, and I've been really enjoying streaming. I actually started streaming some gaming with friends on Twitch, and I want to put it over here too, so that way you guys on the channel can see, more of a well-rounded perspective of who I am as a person. It's not all about business or growth, personal development, blah 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 blah. I think there's a lot about enjoying life, and when I play games with friends, I'm connecting, I'm hanging out with them, and I'm having fun. And I think that's what some of these streams have been great for, is expressing friendship on display, having fun on display. And I think that with everything going on in the world, having fun is valuable. Being happy is valuable. Being great, having great relationships with friends and staying in contact and being there for them is valuable. So, all right, answer key. We just did 5, 6, 7, right? So 5 is, I was completely wrong. Well, so it's A. The answer is the tendency to report severity and tendency in common. Okay, so I gotta get this one in Evernote. Copy. Okay. 5 and boom. And when I come back, I'll tidy it up. 6, did I get that wrong? Dang. I'm surprised that you gotta report that right away to the IRS. I'm surprised. Okay, so we're gonna rewrite all these. 7. I got it wrong too. So the answer is may accept it in the form of post-dated check, seller's approval. I can't help but see 8, 9, and 10. So I might have to skip those, but it's okay. And I just recently got the application done. A couple weeks ago, I got the fingerprint done, and I finished the school months ago. I wish I studied a little bit earlier, but life got in the way. It is what it is. This is literally the first time I actually sat down and seriously went over it, because the other times that I would go over some of these practice tests was the hard copy book, which I have somewhere, basically the same book as this, but I would go to work with it, and while I'm waiting for a prospect to do my sales presentation at the place I was working at, I would just sit there on downtime and start studying, and then I would get called because I have a prospect. So bear with me. Copy. Okay, already got it. All right, so let's go back into what the questions were. Read the questions with the answers again, piece it together in a new sentence. That way it can help make it stick. So we're going to start with number 5. Which type of ownership allows properties to be inherited? Let's go back to Evernote. Is this like this? That is 6. Get rid of the stupid 5. And this is 7. Okay, boom. What type of ownership allows property to be inherited? The answer is tenancy and severity and tenancy in common. So tenancy and severity and tenancy in common are the type of ownership that allows property to be inherited. Oh, no, exclamation point. Don't need that. Boom. Let's make this bold. Boom. Alright, so tenancy and severity, tenancy in common are types of ownership that allows properties to be inherited. Alright, now on to number 6. So this was all about how the buyer agrees to purchase a building site for $17,000. She gave the broker a good faith deposit of $11,000 in cash. I gotta turn this frickin' support highlighter. I went into the settings to turn off this thing because I think it's annoying, but you know what? I think it might actually be good. Alright, I highlighted the whole question. The sale was contingent on the buyer receiving acceptable soil test use. So the good faith deposit is what it's really about. She gave the broker, because everything else is meant to kind of be a smokescreen to the real question that's going on here. Because the real question going on here is like, what do we do in this situation? As a broker, what do we do with this scenario going on? And we realize that the answer is number D. You must report the transaction to the IRS on a form of 830. So the way we can write it in Evernote to help this thing stick is that when the broker receives a good faith deposit, they have to report it to the IRS. When the broker receives a good faith deposit, he/she must report the transaction to the IRS in the form of 8300. Boom. All right, number 7. What was the question? Because the answer is postage check seller's approval. Okay, now we're on to number 7. When a broker receives an earnest money deposit from a buyer, the broker. This is so annoying sometimes. Go away. Support. 3. All right. Bob Malo. I was in mortgages for about 4 years. Also did rehabbing. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that. What got me initially into real estate was my grandfather, who's been a general contractor forever, really, since the 70s. And me and him did that collaboration where we did the House Flipping 101 on the channel, that whole series. And it's phenomenal. So just want to say hello, Matthew K. Trident Line. Good luck on upcoming tests. Thank you, TMK Seal Bank. Appreciate it, man. I could use all the luck I can get, because I'm not a great test taker, but I'm going to pass because I got to do what I got to do, and I'll do whatever I got to do to pass it. And with the state tests, they're very strict. You got to go in there, and you can't bring Google. You got to put your phone in the basket, and it's timed. I passed it on my second time, 6 years ago when I got my real estate license. First time I failed, second time I passed it. When you pass, they don't give you the score. They just say pass. I didn't care. I got it. I'm happy. All right, so back to this. Let's create the new sentence so that way we can understand it a little bit better, because I'm a novice with this. And number 7, when a broker receives earnest money deposit, what do they got to do? The answer was, I believe, C. They may accept it in the form of a post-dated check with the seller's approval. All right, so the question is, when a broker receives an earnest money deposit from a buyer, the broker may accept it in the form of a post-dated check with seller's approval. So all the other ones are BS. They don't make sense. So let's rewrite this in a way so that way it sticks. I mean, I could just put them back to back, because it's not like a huge complex question like some of the other ones where this is just literally this sentence and this sentence. Let me copy. Go in here, paste. Okay, so when a broker receives earnest money deposit from a buyer, they may accept it in the form of a post-dated check with the seller's approval. Okay. All right, we're moving along. All right. So I initially had the test scheduled for the second week of September, but I had to push it back a little bit because we were supposed to go visit my sister in the middle of September. I don't know the dates, but I know that because she's in the military, so she travels a lot, and the time that we could see her is not whenever we feel like it. So I pushed it back to the end of the month. But I'm going to study for the rest of this month, and I'm going to do as many live streams as I can in a week studying this. That way I pass it and get it done with and get it out of the way and move on to bigger and better things. So let's go to the next question. Let me type something real quick, because you guys watching are cool. Stream chat read only. So to talk to you guys back in YouTube, I gotta go back in here. Okay. I hope it's working, but I got people texting, so y'all could see it. It's working. Just on Twitch, but alright, YouTube's where it's at. Alright, back into Vital Source Bookshelf. Alright, so I don't remember what the answers were for 8, 9, and 10, but let's do them next. I can already tell that 9, I'm not going to know that answer, because it's just one of those that's a number, and it's not like a math question, right? Do some math to figure it out. I got to literally remember what this section is in the real estate laws, bylaws, so which is the Federal Housing Administration, FHA program, that insures condominium mortgage loans in section. Don't even know. I would say B. It could be B, C, D, or E. I'm just gonna have to just make a flashcard. So let's focus on 8. An owner agreed to sell his restaurant property. The buyer gave the broker an earnest money deposit of $4,000. One day before closing, the buyer told the broker she had found another property and would not be closing the transaction. The owner lost more than $12,000 because of the default. What remedy would best compensate the owner? Okay. A, suit for rescission, a breach, suit for compensatory damages, suit for liquidated damages, and suit for interpleader, whatever that is. Trying to figure out how the owner lost money. Let me read you the question. Again, it's tired. It's late. Forgive me. An owner agreed to sell his restaurant property. I want to sell it. I'm the owner. I say I want to sell it. The buyer gave the broker an earnest money of $4,000. So the buyer of this restaurant, oh, the guy over there is buying my restaurant. He gave the broker $4,000. One day before closing, the buyer took the broker. Told the broker she found another property and would not be closing on the transaction. So me as the seller of the restaurant, I'm mad because I wanted to sell that. The owner lost more than $12,000 because of the default. So maybe B, compensatory damages. I'm going to go with that one. And all right, let's just do 10, F it. So it's about VA loans. A veteran can have his previously used entitlement restored to buy another home with a Department of Veterans Administration loan. If he, A, has had more than 3 VA loans in the past, B, agrees to make at least 20% down payment on a new home. I don't know about that because I'm pretty sure VA loans have no money down. C, has paid off previous loans, sold original house, or D, fought in World War II, career war. I don't think it's that one. I'm going to guess it's either A or C, because I'm pretty sure VA loans don't need down payments. I've heard that before. The fighting in those two specific wars, World War II and Korea War, I doubt it's that answer. So I'm going to go between those two, A and C, and gun to my head, I had to pick one. I would say C. Okay. So I said C to that. This one, let's just pick one. Let's say C2. And then this one, we'll say B. B. Okay, I got to get out of settings. Go back to this. And go to the answer key. So 8, 9, 10 of the final exam. Okay, so 8, 9, 10. All right, I see them. Boom, I was right. B, the answer is suit for compensatory damages. That one it made the most sense. B, the answer is sector. Can't stand how every time I do this in this app, it has that pop up. I really got to figure out a way to turn that off because it's making me angry. But okay, so 234C. Put that in Evernote. It's going to be the next. And 10. I got to block 11. Stop with that. Okay. Answer is C. The answer is has paid off the previous loan and sold the. I was right. I was freaking right. It just makes the most logical sense, you know. So if you go back to the freaking question, it was talking about getting a VA loan, and the other one was had to have 3 successes. VA loans are super easy to get. Anyone that's eligible is, way easier than a conventional loan because the military takes care of their people, so to speak, and no down payment. I've heard about from countless people, family and prospects. So I'm glad I got that. Between 8, 9, and 10. 8 and 10, I got right. And it was trial of elimination. It makes sense, and I got it. B, did not. So let's figure that one out. Let's go back to 9, which was sector 234C, and I don't remember what it was talking about. So let's go back. Key. Okay, the FHA. Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, that's too much. Now, ideally, I like to figure out a way how to stream it, but make it look a lot more put together. But instead of just a display of my freaking desktop, I guess if I get rid of that, I'll put this over here. Alright, we're good. Alright, so Federal Housing Administration Program that insures condominium mortgage loans is a section. The Federal Housing Administration. I'm like, why does it say he? He. Let me put these in quotations. Alright, so these are some notes. And when I took the test, we already got 10 questions or so. And these were from one of the other units. These down here were from the final. So I'm going to go through these again and repeat them. Because U.S. citizenship is not required to possess a Florida broker's license. So what if the question on the exam is like, citizenship is required to get a Florida broker's license? The answer to that is false. Because broker applicants must possess an SSN number or social security number. Alright, I got this one wrong when I answered the question. My bad. Again, tired. I apologize. Dividing current assets by current liabilities is how a business appraiser calculates the current business ratio. Okay, so dividing current assets by current liabilities. So I just imagine the assets on top, divide liability number, boom. That's how we get the current business ratio. Tenancy and severalty and tenancy in common are the types of ownership that allows property to be inherited. Tenancy in common, tenancy and severalty. These are that allow property to be inherited. Alright, so when broker receives a good faith deposit, they have to report it to the transaction to the IRS on Form 8300. When a broker receives earnest money, deposit from a buyer, they may accept it in the form of a post-dated check with the seller's approval. I got that wrong, but I guess, so they can accept a post-data check if the seller approves. And Federal Housing Administration program that insures condominium mortgage loans is Section 234C. Okay, so this is it. This is studying time. Let's put on YouTube music because I'm a premium membership. Let's look up study chill step copy non-copyright. Yeah, F it, who cares? Mix. Alright, this should be good. Little windmill, what do y'all think about this? Oh, shit. Now chill step music. This brings me back. Because chill step music I found in the library. Because college I did online. Well, I did one semester of community college, and I didn't want to be in a lot of debt, so I just did online school to be debt free. And I remember just going to the library and doing all the work online. Listen to this. I feel like this is giving me a little bit of an energy boost, guys. Let me go back to Streamlabs. I wish I could chit chat with you guys. Maybe if I go to my YouTube channel on my phone. Let's see. Display, and put this over here like this. So I'm messing around with this thing, trying to make it look cool. This is a white background, which I'm gonna set. That's display capture. I just messed it up. I messed it up. Sorry, guys. Okay. How's that look? Cool? Cool? Alright, I think it looks pretty cool. Let me go back to the display. Alright. Alright, this has been a nice hour live stream. I studied for about 30 minutes of it. Now it's 11 o'clock my time, and I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I got like 3 hours sleep last night, so I think it's a good time to end the stream here. This was a great opportunity to learn how to do both, because I was on YouTube and Twitch, multi-stream, and I had 3 different people that are subscribers comment, and Alex, Bob Malley, and TMCL Bank. Thank you guys for being the first 3 people to hang out with me during live stream, studying for my broker's exam. So I got to do this more often for the rest of this month, going into next month, because I got to get this over with. I want to get it done so I can start making money. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel and this stream. And I'm really enjoying Streamlabs and streaming in general. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next stream. This was a mixture of stuff, a learning experience, because I'm learning all this material, and a lot of it is not, sunken in. 'Cause it's just, remembering what this was and this was and putting it together. But it's okay. I'm gonna make it better every time. And I got a couple videos coming up. I'm reading Book of Five Rings, but it's just been very passive because I've been focusing a lot of my energy on passing this broker's exam and gaming, which is another thing. I'm gonna start putting live stream gaming on here, but the videos I'll have posted highlights on a different channel, just the stream. So it's like, hey, if you want to come and hang out, see a different side of me, then great, come hang out. Well, I'm in it for today, and I'll see you guys